Welcome to another edition of No Pump Fake Sports. I'm your host, Passport T. Let's talk a little Clippers basketball. We're embarking on the start of the basketball season, this 2022-23 season, and training camp is about a little under 30 days away. From everything that I'm hearing, Kawhi Leonard is fully healed. He's jacked. He done went into the gym and got swole. He's just ready to go. From day one, from everything that I'm hearing, they talking about starting him in game one. So it's nothing about let him get acclimated, let the season, no. They say from day one, Kawhi Leonard is ready to go. Paul George is fully healed. Missed 50 games last year, but all the highlights that I'm looking at from the Drew League, summer camp, stuff like that, Paul George is ready. He's locked in. He got married over the summer. So he's in a happy place right now, man. And his basketball game just looks nice from all the highlights that I've looked at on YouTube. He just seems like he's just happy with life right now. So that could be very deadly, man. A guy with Paul George's skill set, being able to slice to the cup, that mid-range, that nice outside three shot. You know what I mean? He's just a dynamic player. And you couple that with being happy in life, don't have no mental issues, man, that makes for a deadly combination. So I'm just ready to see Paul and Kawhi on the court for the first time in a year and a half or so. It's just exciting times to be a Clipper fan. And this team is very, very deep, 13 deep. Any given night, if somebody's having an off night, you can plug somebody else in to fill in the void. I mean, you just look at this squad and it's just incredible. With Morris Sr., Batum, Man, Kawhileonard, Rocco, Norman Powell, and that's the bench. This is insane. But we still flying under the radar. Still flying under the radar. Every time somebody mentions us on ESPN, they downplaying the Clippers. They don't want to really give them no credit. You look at the comment section, you see Laker fans in there talking about, we hear this every time. Every time they say every year they talking about they going to win it and this and that. No, this is different. This is different. I've never, ever seen the Clippers squad look like this. The organization should be ecstatic right now. This is the deepest team and the most talented team in the history of this organization. As a matter of fact, you could almost go on record and say this particular Clipper team is the most talented team in the NBA and probably NBA history. All right, don't go crazy. I'm just talking about when you look at the two-star players like Paul George, you look at Kawhi Leonard, these are the stars we know. But then go through the depth of the team, and then you match that depth up with any team in history, and I believe this Clippers team is deeper. I'm not getting crazy. We're just talking about talent and depth of this basketball team. I don't care who you are. You could go Lakers in Showtime era. Let's pick the Showtime era. Well, you had Magic, you had Kareem, you had James Worthy. All right, that's cool. But you got Kawhi, you got Paul George, you got John Wall. Then you got Reggie Jackson. Then you got Rocco. Then you got Batum. Then you got Kawhileonard, who led the league, I think, in three-point field goal percentage. Either led it or was second. Then you got a scrappy kid in Terrence Mann. Man, this team is loaded, man. Loaded. But they still not getting credit. You got guys on ESPN, Fox, and everybody's a super analyst now, and they downplaying them and this and that because of, the bubble year and the bad year when, last year Kawhi got hurt. So people tend to try to hold on to something and never let it go, because they want to believe in this curse thing. And especially here in Los Angeles, they never want to see the Clippers as being a threat to the Lakers. Now, can they be a threat to the Lakers' history? No. That's going to take a long time and many championships, to ever get that done. But in terms of right now, the Clippers are a far superior team than the Los Angeles Lakers, and they have been for a decade. They beat them 4 times last year without Kawhi and PG. So it's not even really a rivalry, And I'm not trying to, begrudge their team or talk crazy or whatever, but we speak in facts. And the facts are, this team is much better than their neighbor. So, in terms of this year, I believe they're going to win the chip. We're going to see the first time in the history of this organization that the Clippers win the championship. I believe they're going to beat Golden State in 6 games. I don't think Steph Curry nor Klay Thompson or loudmouth Draymond Green have enough to deal with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, John Wall, and the rest of this team, how deep they are. I just don't think they have enough. Phoenix Suns. Yeah, you got Ayton in the middle, but I think Zubac is a good enough player to be able to, kind of deal with him and slow him down a little bit. I think at this stage of the game, Chris Paul is not who we think he is. That defense from John Wall is going to give him a lot of problems. Him trying to stay in front of John Wall, it's not going to happen. You'll see John Wall penetrate on Chris Paul all night long and probably get 20 points with him guarding him. I don't believe they have enough star talent on that team to be able to deal with the Clippers. So I think if we were to meet them in the playoff, that series go 6 at best. I'll say 5 games and they going home. The Denver Nuggets are the team that's kind of scary. And the reason they scary is because of Jokic. Jokic is an absolute stud. And then I think Murray is back this year. So Denver will be a problem. But I think how deep the Clippers are, not even Denver can handle the Clippers. I think we're seeing the growth of Ivica Zubac. I think we're going to see him be a 13-10 player, and that's all we really need out of him. When we go small, we got guys like Rocco. We can fill in with Marcus Morris Sr. We have Batum. Man, this team is just too deep. I don't see anybody from the West being able to handle the Clippers. And if you move over to the Eastern Conference, you still have Giannis. You got KD in Brooklyn with Kyrie. But when you take a look at the overall teams and you match them up against the Clippers, they don't have enough. And I could be a homer because I'm a Clipper fan, but in my opinion, I just don't think those teams have enough to stop this Clippers team. But nobody's really talking about it, and they don't really want to say it. I give credit to Kendrick Perkins. He's the only one standing on it. He's not playing. He's standing on it. In the media, he's just like, no, this is the team. And the reason he's saying that, because Perkins knows basketball. And I agree 100% with him. This is the team. This team is too deep. You got a healthy Kawhi coming back. They say he's healthy. He's so healthy that he'll play game 1, the start of the season. You have a healthy Paul George. You have John Wall is about to plug in. And then the rest of the depth of this team is just going to be too much. But let us keep staying below the radar. Let the news articles and the commentators not talk about us. We just want to fly low. And then when they look up, it's too late. We ready to grab that chip. So yeah, man, I just want to come to you guys with a quick video to talk about that. The reason I feel they win the chip. And yeah, man, I'm gonna start posting consistently again. I'm back. It's going to be a few things that I'm going to do different with the channel. I'm going to change the name, so when you see the thumbnails, it'll still be us, but I'm going to change the name because a lot of people on YouTube use this name. They just spell it a little different, or change it up a little bit to use this name. I want to come out with something unique, and we're gonna start posting because I'm very excited about this season, and I just believe this is going to be our year. So yeah, man, that's all I really have for today. I'm your host, Passport T. I appreciate you guys for tapping in with me, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Peace. I'm out.